The very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Adam Montiel filling in for Randy White. Good Sunday Fun Day morning, everyone. You've arrived at California's #1 place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. Our goal is to give you the tools you need to enjoy life's pleasures in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. Patty, thanks for having me. I don't think her mic's on again. She was saying thank you for being here.
So I have changed microphones, and this is throwing Anthony off this morning.
Anthony's a trooper because not only is he managing the mics, but he's managing the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles. Open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. Eberly Winery, located on 46 East in Paso. Log on to eberlywinery.com. Patty, I understand you got some news.
Indeed, I do. On this Sunday Fun Day. We always have to wait for the little news sounder. There we go.
Oh, man. Look at you guys.
The news sounder was sleeping in on this Sunday morning, and I don't blame it because I wanted to sleep in too. It was so nice. But here's what's happening from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday morning. Arsenic in apple juice is getting the attention of the federal government after years of debate and complaints by consumer groups. The FDA now says the juice should be held to the same standards as drinking water, and will take your comments for the next 2 months on that recommendation. The potentially cancer-causing compound is limited by the Environmental Protection Agency to 10 parts per billion for water. Organic forms of arsenic found in soil and groundwater are considered harmless, but versions used in pesticides have been associated with skin lesions, developmental effects, cardiovascular disease, neurotoxicity, and diabetes. This is according to Reuters. Well, diet sodas are receiving more criticism, this time with a review study from Purdue University. Now, researchers there say the various artificial sweeteners used in diet soft drinks are linked to a number of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. The study focused on aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin and found those who consumed these chemicals were more likely to have weight gain, had twice the risk of developing metabolic syndrome. That's a precursor to cardiovascular disease. Now, the American Beverage Association says the study is not scientific and should be considered an opinion piece. All right, Congress is sounding off regarding our state's egg laws. The U.S. House of Representatives just passed a bill that would prevent California from regulating eggs brought in from other states. At issue is a requirement that imported eggs be produced under standards ensuring hens can stand and spread their wings. Now, similar to the laws farmers within California must obey, this is under the voter-approved Proposition 2. Critics of Thursday's bill say it could nullify many state laws around the country, many of those dealing with animal welfare. Now, the bill was introduced by a representative from Iowa, the #1 egg-producing state in the country. All right, keeping, Adam, with our topic of eggs, wait till you hear this. It's been really hot recently.
Yes.
Well, okay. It's always pretty hot in Death Valley, and it got exceptionally hot there a couple weeks back, if you remember. Now, the rangers in Death Valley are asking the public to please stop frying eggs on the park's roadways
I read about this.
and walkways. There's been a growing number of visitors who, it's no laughing matter for the rangers, though, even though we think it's funny. There's been a growing number of visitors who, after seeing this online demonstration of just how hot it is in the valley, they're cracking eggs and leaving an egg mess behind. The park posted on its Facebook page asking tourists to be more respectful, please.
Well, you are littering. You're just taking food and throwing it outside. It's pretty,
what a mess, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you think of the ground getting hot. They say when it's hot, a certain temperature outside in your car, it's always like, 30, 40 degrees more. Same thing with the ground, that hot black asphalt.
Yeah.
I mean, and you see that egg just start frying like it's in a pan.
Yes. I grew up in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Mm-hmm. And I know all about hot blacktop. It gets so hot, it starts to get soft and melty. So a park employee posted a video of frying an egg in a pan, and they recommend the use of a pan or tinfoil for tourists who want to do this experiment.
Oh, tinfoil, there you go. Because then you just crumble it up and you're done.
You clean up your mess. And they're saying, please dispose of the contents. Now, despite the request, the park's maintenance crew still busy cleaning up eggs cracked on the sidewalk, egg cartons, shells strewn across the parking lot. and actually on the salt playa at Badwater.
Have you ever like dropped an egg on the ground? I mean, it's a pain in the butt to clean up.
It's a mess.
It's
a
not
mess.
fun to clean up at all.
No, and in a public area where, people are walking and sightseeing and stuff, you don't want like scrambled eggs on the sidewalk. But
Right. And these guys got better things to do than clean
That's
up
right.
your eggs. Yeah, clean up your eggs.
Okay, so Adam, it is National July Belongs to Blueberries Month.
Awesome.
All right, so
Awesome.
eat up.
I'm celebrating.
It's Bastille Day today.
That's right.
It is National Macaroni Day. Who doesn't love macaroni? Well,
Mac
there
and
might be
cheese.
someone, but I don't know who that crazy person is.
We have a mac and cheese festival coming up here.
I love macaroni and cheese. Okay, really quickly on the topic of the weather. I don't have to tell you, just look outside. Oh my goodness, what an amazing day here in San Luis Obispo, where we're located in downtown SLO. Warm, sunny day on tap for your Sunday. Highs ranging from the 60s to 70s if you are near the ocean. If you are inland, into the 90s, so a little warm for you all in the Central Valley. Looking for a typical summertime pattern for much of the week, with the marine fog developing and keeping things moderate in our coastal areas, and warm but not too hot for our Central Valley towns. But of course, it's going to warm up, typical for them in the summertime. Adam, that is it from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this wonderful Sunday.
You are amazing. Thank you so much. Coming up over the next couple hours, we're going to talk to Tom Taberzi later on. He is the winemaker for Domaine Shandon. The Can Van, the folks at thecanvan.com, Jen Catalano, she's going to talk about how microbreweries now, the trend is to actually can your beers, your microbrews. Gone are the bottles. Kind of, what I'm going to ask her about is this kind of the way screw caps were a few years ago on wine? Because everybody was like, no, I don't want a screw cap. That's ridiculous. But now screw caps we know are...
They're a good thing.
They're a great thing, sure. Also, we're going to listen to a great interview with Randy that he recorded with the folks from Finger Limes. These are farmers.
Yeah.
Now, he gave me a couple of these. We took them down to Black Sheep for an adult beverage.
They're good, aren't they?
Cut them open and just like squirted these little nectar balls into the drink. That blew my mind.
They're really good.
Yeah, very, very cool. So in addition to the Finger Limes, we're going to talk to Amy Wurz. She is from Juice Plus, and we're going to learn about vertical gardening with what they call the Tower Garden. This is really, really cool, and I'm kind of invested in this because I just got one, and I'm kind of geeking out on mine. So I can't wait to ask her a whole bunch of questions about it. And then Judy Ann Wu from TravelOregon.com. It's a really interactive website, and I was just playing around on it this morning. I was like, damn, I want to go back. You ever gone to Oregon?
Yes, I have been through Oregon a couple times. Yes,
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
Yeah.
It's a little different than what we're used to down here in this part of California. So it's nice to have a change with the trees and all of that stuff. But still, if you're in the right place, you can get the coast as well.
Also, I wonder if she likes or has seen the show Portlandia.
Oh my gosh,
Have you been watching this?
I haven't seen the new ones, but the first. When it first came out, I watched all of them with my son. Hilarious.
I know. I was supposed to interview Fred Armisen this last week on my other show because the season 3 of Portlandia just came out. So they sent me season 3, and I mean, you ever like watch a DVD and you just go episode,
and you
it's
just
like
keep
crack,
going. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. So we're gonna ask her if maybe she's sick of hearing about that show, or maybe
Is it possible?
or maybe she is all about it.
She might embrace it. You don't know.
Yeah. Right.
We'll find out.
I think you got to.
Yeah.
You got to. All right, Patty Pyburn is here. My name is Adam Montiel, in for Randy White. Very happy to be eating, drinking, and exploring with you. Log on to eatdrinkexplore.com. Find us on Ustream. It is all good. It is Sunday Fun Day. More after these words.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood. A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. My name is Adam Montiel. In for Randy White. I appreciate him for thinking of me and asking him to fill in. I'm a fan of the show. Patty Pyburn, thank you for welcoming me with open arms, and I'm happy to do this with you here.
Yeah. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday Fun Day, as Randy says. On the phone or on the Randy line now is Amy Wers. She is from Juice Plus. And we're going to be talking about the Tower Garden. Amy, thank you. And Amy was like on a mountain in Utah. She's from here, but she was on a high atop mountain in Utah. Came down the hill to talk to us. God bless you, Amy.
Well, thank you.
So we first learned about Tower Garden, my girlfriend Mallory and I, several months ago. And we're kind of just like watching it and seeing it. We just got one.
Yes.
So we're like in this infancy stage where we put some seedlings in it and we're watching them grow. And, a few weeks later, we're actually got some vegetables on our hands, and it's really cool. What I like about it is, Amy, I don't consider myself a green thumb person at all, so this makes it really easy. Explain what the Tower Garden is all about.
Well, it is a state-of-the-art vertical aeroponic growing system. So it stands 4 to 6 feet tall. You can grow up to 28 different fruits and vegetables and herbs at once. But really, it's about bringing local produce right to your patio. A lot of people now don't have the space and the land and the time to do gardening. And but it's really just about securing your food source and making sure your water's clean, it's pesticide-free, it's local, and you get to eat it when it's ripened on the vine instead of having it being picked a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
So technically this is organic, right? I mean, you're making it in your own backyard. You're not putting pesticides on it, obviously. You're growing organic vegetables.
Right. Well, organic applies to dirt. That term applies to dirt. So I like to call it beyond organic because, you could spray pesticides on it if you want. I think we're trying to get away from that.
No, great point. Okay, so what's cool about this is like we mentioned before, you don't really have to have a green thumb. Talk about how is it working? Is it taking a lot of energy from my plug? Is it taking a lot of water from my hose? How is it sustaining itself?
You do plug it in. It's on a timer, and it does use a little bit of energy, but they figured it's about the amount of energy as one light bulb per year. Oh, wow. And as for the water, the reservoir holds 20 gallons of water. During the warmer months, you use a little bit more, but it uses 90% less water than a traditional garden. And did I say that right?
It uses 90% water. Then you would use had you
traditional gardening.
Yeah.
So Amy, I think I'm looking at a picture of the Tower Garden. This is Juice Plus.
Right.
Okay, so I have found it online. Obviously, this is for people who have limited space or they're trying to work with the space they're in. What kind of a setup do you need? How much sunlight does this area that you're going to put your Tower Garden? Would it require?
You need about 4 to 5 hours of sunlight a day. It doesn't have to be really bright light, but we do have people all over the United States now with Tower Gardens, and they have grow lights for them.
Oh, okay.
So we do have people that actually that are in Colorado that have been growing.
This could be like an indoor-outdoor kind of a thing then if you have those grow lights. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're watching online, what you see there is that is the evolution of my Tower Garden. You see little seedlings on the left there, and it goes all the way. And bam, they're pretty. Yeah, look at that, Patty. It's pretty badass. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So it is really growing. You got some romaine and stuff in there. I love it. Now, this being so popular, I mean, what you've noticed, Amy, it's not even just popular personally, but professionally, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Chefs are really loving the Tower Garden idea because a lot of chefs, I mean, imagine you get to pick the seeds for the vegetables and the fruits that you're growing for your restaurant and for your dishes and secure the fact that they are organic, that they're picked fresh, that they're local, and they're decreasing the carbon footprint. These are things that a lot of chefs and restaurants are really interested in, and they're perfect for balconies and rooftop gardens. So yeah, we're seeing actually a lot of restaurants and interest in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Potentially, they could grow it right in their kitchen if they were so inclined.
Well, I mean,
exactly.
Are we seeing? I was thinking, because I'm always out at wineries doing like the Cork Dork show. I'm thinking like a lot of these wineries are expanding with having chefs in house, and imagine just going out to the crush pad, which is concrete, and having a tower, a beautiful Tower Garden right there. You can make your
and there's your salad.
Yeah, there's your salad. There's your accents and your veggies and stuff. But one of the pictures here, and I'll throw it down on the video feed again. You've seen like Tower Garden farms, right? Amy's sitting on rooftops that are just like, crazy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And you really get the big picture when you see that because this idea of growing vertical, they've been working on it for a long time, but this is the future of farming. We need to limit the land that we're using and grow up instead of growing wide. So it's really neat when you get to see a farm and you get to see it on the big picture. And that farm in particular, they supply 5 different local restaurants with produce, and they also sell the produce straight from the tower at farmers market.
Now, Tower Garden is under the umbrella of a company called Juice Plus. Talk about what Juice Plus is.
They have Juice Plus. It's been around for 20 years now, and it's juice powder concentrate from 25 different fruits and vegetables and grains, and they're either in a capsule or a chewable form. And it's an amazing product. And until the Tower Garden, they've always just, we all know we need to eat more fruits and vegetables in order to prevent disease and stay healthy, anywhere from our gums to pregnancy, that type of thing. And Juice Plus just kind of helped to bridge that gap between what we do eat and what we should eat. And then now we have the Tower Garden. So it's either one. You've got the actual fruits and vegetables, and then you have the encapsulated ones or the chewable ones.
One thing I like now when we're seeing this kind of shift, Patty, and we're talking to Amy Wers about vertical farming and the Tower Garden, is that, McDonald's has, gotten away. Their Happy Meals now have fruit and things like that. We're trying to make a better...
People are making an effort.
Yeah, or we're at least
Yes.
seeing that an effort needs to be made. Whether you listening are making the effort, that an effort needs to be made. And this is great because, Amy, I know you got one in your backyard. The kids love it. They love to go clip stuff off it and bring it in and wash it. Talk about that interactive way you've kind of used the Tower Garden to show this is the way we need to eat.
Okay. I actually got a Tower Garden for my children's elementary school, and this was an exciting day for me because I got to cart it in there and bring it into a second grade class just towards the end of last year. They were so excited about growing vegetables in that. And because it's aeroponic, it delivers air to the roots of the vegetables. They grow 50% faster than in the regular garden. So these children had, made their attempts in a traditional garden, and the bugs kind of were getting to it, and it was growing slow, and they lost their interest. And just in the course, of the 3 or 4 weeks that it was at their school, they were making salads off of it and selling at their school carnival to raise money. And it was so cute. They were all eating off of it, but it's fast, it's fun, and the vegetables look really pretty, and they smell really good.
I have a question because you were saying that it delivers air and water to the roots, and it's not growing in dirt, which you were telling us, which is why you don't consider it to be organic because it's not actually in soil. What's the medium that the vegetables are growing in?
There's water in the reservoir, and then Juice Plus actually has a mineral tonic that's all natural minerals from the earth and the sea, and you just put a little cupful of tonic from each of the different solutions, and it's just minerals. That's the food that makes the produce taste and smell so good and be so healthy.
You know what I also like about it is that there's not, because it's not in the ground, there's not a million bugs all over it. You know what I mean? Like the first piece of greenery is, 2 feet off the ground, and there's like a thing around it. So, this has got to be really good for just not having pest tear up.
Where's yours growing? Where did you put yours?
My back.
Patio?
I have like this side patio, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I turn it around. I make sure it gets enough.
You rotate so it gets sun?
Yeah. And they even have you can buy these little rollers for it, and it's super easy to move around. And I'm stoked on it. Pretty cool. So we'll see how mine goes. We got pictures of them.
You're our test case.
Yeah, on the video right now. Amy, I want to take a second. Thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to talk Tower Garden, to talk Juice Plus with us. And enjoy the rest of your time out in Utah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Her website is VenturaCountyTowerGarden.com. VenturaCountyTowerGarden.com, and you can learn more about what's going on here. Adam Montiel in for Randy White with Patty Pyburn. It is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio and EatDrinkExploreRadio.com.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
And you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time, the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the 2-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And They cut down on our energy costs. Because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. And welcome to the program, everyone. Great to have you with us on another beautiful California day. I am your host, Randall White, and you are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. 33 minutes past the hour right now. And you know, if you are a regular visitor to farmers markets, especially in the southern portion of the state, you may have come across these little finger-looking limes. In fact, they're called finger limes. And when you break them open, you get these little tiny balls of citrus power. That's how I describe it. And when you bite into them, they pop, similar to the way that, say, caviar might pop in your mouth. And but instead of tasting fishy, they have that wonderful citrus burst that comes with it. They've become extremely popular with your high-end celebrity chefs. And also, there are a lot of cocktail enthusiasts out there that like to use the finger limes during finger lime season as well. They've been difficult to find for the average consumer, however, up until now. In fact, those of you listening to us up in the Bay Area, I believe you'll have an easier time finding them now, as well as other portions of the state. Here to talk a little bit about this explosion of finger limes here in California is Lyle Babcock. He's the owner of Deer Creek Heights Ranch. That's in the Central Valley town of Terabella. Welcome to the program, Lyle.
Thank you very much.
Also, Karen Kaplan. She's the president of Frida's Specialty Produce. That is the company that will be distributing these throughout the state so that everyone can have just as much fun as the fancy chefs. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Randall. Hi, Lyle.
How you doing?
Yeah, so I'm so happy to have you all on the show to talk about this. I've had this ever since, I want to say it was maybe 2 years ago or so. I was reading an article in the LA Times. There's a farmer's market article that I read on occasion. And finger limes were mentioned, and I thought, finger limes? What are those? I've never heard of those. So when I was down at the Santa Monica market, I was able to grab some, and I just found them to be so fun. Then I started reading about them in all kinds of articles, but you just couldn't find them at the grocery store. Lyle, you are no stranger to odd citrus, right? You grow how many different types there on your farm?
We grow about 75 varieties, market 65.
So you grow 75, you market 65. I can count about 10 on my hand. So what are I mean, some of the odd ones I guess would be like to some people would be blood oranges, and of course now we know the finger limes. What are some other types that you grow there that most people have just never heard of?
Well, we have an orange called a mango orange. Tastes like a mango, has no acid.
Wow.
We have a sweet lime that is not acidic, actually an antacid.
Mm-hmm.
We grow things like variegated lemons, Torange, about 5 kinds of kumquats, 9 kinds of limes, actually.
So kumquats are a part of the citrus family?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Because they taste citrusy, and I figured they were, but just was never sure. So on the hierarchy of citrus, I would imagine oranges are pretty much the most common, right? Everyone can grab an orange, and orange juice is served at just about every place for breakfast and that sort of thing. Limes sort of fall near the bottom of the whole citrus family, right?
Yeah, they're the least utilized, probably, certainly less than an orange.
Except for drinkers of Corona.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You have to have the little lime that you slide on there, and margaritas as well. So the finger lime is indeed a member of the citrus family. Where did it originate?
Well, it originally came from it grows in an understory in the jungles of Australia.
Oh, okay.
Basically in the northeast part of the country.
And these little balls that are inside, about the size of like a BB, I guess, is how I've seen them. Now, when you open up an orange or any kind of citrus, the section, when you pull it apart, has sort of elongated versions of these, right? Is it pretty much the same thing?
Well, it is, except they're not as well articulated. They basically are a little independent. We call them pearls of lime, and they just if you cut it in half, they just come rushing out of the fruit.
How are they mostly used?
Well, they're so new that's really being explored as we speak. They've started. We were the first growers in this nation to grow them, and we have trees that are about 5 years old. But this was brand new to everybody. It's just the market itself, and a lot of the uses of it are, as we speak, being developed.
So when you say they grow in nature, they grow in the understory of the jungles of Australia, does that mean where you have your trees, they need to be shaded?
No, they don't do that way. It's just that that's where they originated, because they have relatively small leaves and lots of thorns to protect them.
Mm.
But we grow them in the open sunshine.
Oh, okay. Open California sunshine is good for just about everything.
You bet.
And somebody who knows that very well is Karen Kaplan. You are a specialty produce expert. How did you hook up with Lyle for these finger limes?
Well, actually the first time I saw finger limes was when I was in Berlin, Germany at a food show about 8 or 9 years ago. And I saw this mate from Australia sampling these little finger limes, and I got on the phone right away to the United States to see if I could bring them in, and because of agricultural restrictions, I couldn't. So we've been kind of checking out every grower we could to grow citrus in California to see if anyone had been growing finger limes. And we knew down in Riverside, at UC Riverside, the citrus variety collection, that they had some trees. And so I think that, Lyle and us, we just kind of met up, through mutual friends. And we've done a little business over the years together. As he said, he's had the farm had been growing the finger limes for 5 years, and now we have a decent-sized crop. So I think it was kind of natural. The produce business is kind of a small business. And so, one person knows another person, and one of the ladies that I work with was up in the Central Valley and gave Lyle a call, and he came to visit, and then he came to visit us, and now we're selling a lot of finger limes.
And now here we are, and so I imagine there must be a point where where the crop reaches a certain size that it makes sense, that now we can get it into all the different stores and that sort of thing, and not leave the produce buyers hanging and everything along those lines. And so where can people find you here in California?
Well, first of all, you should know, and Lyle mentioned that there's small leaves and a lot of thorns. That's really an understatement. I mean, it's as if the lime tree does not want to be picked. There are so many thorns. And I don't know if you do this, Lyle, but one of the farmers I know, he actually has to shake the bush because you can't even stick your hand in there to get the limes. So it's very, very difficult to harvest. And I don't think there'll ever be a boom of finger limes because they're just not that prolific, and it's very labor intensive.
So the price point is high, but you don't use a lot of it.
Exactly. So in the beginning, of course, the cutting-edge chefs are the ones who make them famous and who love to experiment and use them in beverages and in desserts and seafood dishes. And so now there's a larger size crop. So we've worked with Lyle to come up with a couple packages that make them affordable for a consumer. But we sell mainstream supermarkets. So, up and down the coast, you can go into New Frontiers, you could go into Ralph's, you could go into Vons, Safeway, Save Mart, Molly Stone's. All those stores have the opportunity to have the finger limes, but there's no way of knowing which store is going to have them because realistically they're very expensive and the demand is still kind of new. So what I always like to tell people who are looking for new and fun produce is if you're looking for it, go to the produce manager and say, I hear finger limes are in season. And, of course, they know, that Frida's and Deer Creek have them. They can mention our brand by name. And actually, many consumers still write to us or email us or go on our website asking where they can find or that they want to find our products. And we'll actually call the supermarket, and we will suggest to the retailer that it might be good to respond positively to the consumer by bringing in the product.
Yeah.
So it could be at any store they want, but chances are it's going to be at a little more upscale supermarket.
I have a New Frontiers just blocks from my house. I ride my bike there on a regular basis. And so I was happy to hear that they'll be there. Lyle, what is the season for finger limes? We're just starting it?
Well, we have a carryover winter fruit starting in about May in a very limited amount. In July and August, they are more readily available, and then August, September is at the peak of our season. That runs through December, January.
Oh, okay. Very citrus. That sounds about right. Now, we can't let you guys go without discussing at least one way for people to utilize the finger limes. And Karen, I believe you have something fun to share there.
Well, I was on vacation last week, Randall, but my office actually was playing around and created some recipes, and so they showed me the listing of the recipe, which just sounds fantastic. It's a shrimp and avocado salad with finger limes, and just as you would make a tossed salad, you'd have grilled shrimp, maybe some sliced or grilled avocado, that you can add the finger lime morsels to the salad dressing, and they kind of make that kind of citrus flavor pop.
Oh, perfect.
So that's one of the best ways to do it. I know Lyle was mentioning that earlier when we were chatting. And you were talking about how they look like fish eggs, even though they're lime caviar. Use it like you would caviar. Maybe if you have crackers and you put a little spread of cheese on them, and instead of putting caviar on top, put some finger lime morsels on there.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite personally would be if I was going to have them in a martini.
Oh, there you go.
I think that to float some of the finger limes, make it look effervescent.
Now I'm sold. Karen Kaplan, president of Frida's Specialty Produce. Thank you for joining us today. And also Lyle Babcock, owner of Deer Creek Heights Ranch there in Terra-Bella, California. Finger limes, everyone. Find them at your local store. Thanks for joining us, you guys. And we are back in just a moment. Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You've waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
I'm Adam Montiel, hosting, co-host, well, I should say guest hosting for Randy White, who is normally in this chair. My thanks to Randy for having me. I do a show on one of Eat, Drink, Explore's affiliates called The Crush 92.5, called The Cork Dorks, and I'm very excited to be here. Patty, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for spending Sunday morning with us. This has been great fun so far, and we've got lots more fun coming up.
We really do. We're going to talk to winemaker from Domaine Shandon, Tom Taberzi. We'll talk to Jen Catalano from the Canvan.com. That's a great new little trend in microbrewing where they're actually canning the microbrews. and we just spoke to Amy from the Tower Garden. Very cool if you want to check back on eatdrinkexplore.com, all about vertical farming. Well, this is a really cool interactive website, TravelOregon.com. On the phone, we have Judy Ann Wu. She is with TravelOregon.com. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Now, what a great idea as far as just, I love the interactiveness of the website. Again, it's TravelOregon.com. And, you know, Salem, Eugene, Bend, Medford, Ashland, of course, Portland. There's a lot going on in Oregon. And there's a lot of places that maybe people aren't even thinking of, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, most people know about Portland, especially when we're talking about food and drink. There's so much going on right now, the buzz of the food scene. But I think what we'd like to do is tell people that there's exciting culinary opportunities throughout the whole state. I mean, we think about where those ingredients come from that these Portland chefs are using. And those ingredients, more often than not, are just all local. We're very much into local cuisine. I know that's kind of everywhere now, but I feel like in Oregon they've been doing it. It's just the lifestyle. It's always been done that way.
Where do you live in Oregon?
I currently live in Portland, yes.
No, just think about
Portlandia?
Yeah, Portlandia.
Portlandia, exactly.
We were just talking about the show. Do you enjoy the show, or are you kind of annoyed by the show?
Oh, I love the show. I know that some people might find it annoying, but really, if you know anything about Portland, it's quite hilarious because everything is true.
Right.
There's an element of truth, and I think some people don't want to look in the mirror and see that there's truth. But absolutely, that's what I find so funny is there's at the core it's Carrie and Fred Armisen. They actually live here in Portland, and you see them around town. And
Oh, is that
they're
right?
writing from their own experience. Yes.
That's very cool. One thing I noticed, and I've been to Portland twice, and it's so damn clean. You know, like you could be downtown, and
Right.
and it's just a pretty clean city. I mean, obviously there's a lot of effort made to just keep it tidy, huh?
Right. I mean, a green lifestyle is very much a part of the Oregon ethos. I mean, we really promote that. We live it. We want to have it nice. That's part of the reason why people move to Portland if they weren't born and bred here. It's also one of the it always comes up as one of the most livable cities in the country, and part of that is it's the most bike-friendly city in the country is too. And I think that when you're riding to work, and you become much more conscientious of the environment and garbage and how much emissions you're putting out. So people, it's part of the lifestyle here, I'd have to say. That and eating and drinking well, I would say.
Yeah,
That's the second priority.
And who doesn't want to do that? So you have some cool travel options to tell us about, right?
Right. Well, we put out a culinary newsletter to everyone who subscribes, and it's not all the time, but it's giving people regular ideas of kind of off the beaten track adventures that they can have, and you can sign up at TravelOregon.com. This month we're highlighting a road trip to Independence, for 4th of July weekend. But there's a town called Independence, about an hour south of Portland, and this used to be known as the hop capital of the world, and now they're growing hops everywhere. But part of the reason why Oregon is so well known for its beers and why the beers are so good is because the hops are so good. And you can go visit a hop farm there. They also have a lot of lavender farms in Oregon. I don't know if people are aware of that, but this is lavender that you can cook with, culinary lavender, as well as lavender for cosmetic, products and stuff like that. But it's really a fun place to go visit.
Yeah,
I often recommend when people are coming to town to go visit the farms because the food is just so much more exciting when you go and see where it's grown.
We got a Judy Ann Wu here. She is from TravelOregon.com, interactive website that makes you want to book your trip like yesterday. One thing that you guys have in common with us here is world-class wines. I mean, talk about some of the wine destinations in your state.
Well, the Willamette Valley is kind of well known for its wines. It's some of the most award-winning wines come out of as far as Oregon grapes. The Oregon Pinot Noir is. There was that movie. I don't know if you saw that. What was that movie? Sideways.
Sure. Sideways was filmed just about an hour south of us.
Heard of that a time or two.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the quest for Oregon Pinot Noir. But Oregon has so many other different varieties, and now they're growing some really fantastic wines in Southern Oregon as well. And we have lots of tasting rooms, and people can stay in wine country, stay at a beautiful inn in a spa there, and then go explore wine country. And the tasting rooms are fantastic. And they have almost all the tasting rooms in Oregon have food as well, so you can really hang out. You can picnic. You can make a real afternoon of it. They also have tours, so you don't have to worry about driving around. And people also often do bicycle tours around So you kind of, work up an appetite and
Yeah.
and you go around because they're close enough that you can bike around and see the tours. So I highly recommend that as well.
Now, keeping with the beverage conversation, I see here a Stein Distillery. They make some great whiskey. Talk about Stein for a second.
Right, they're way out in Joseph, Oregon, which if you haven't been, it's worth a trek. It's tucked away in this mountain town near the Wallowas, and it's so beautiful there, especially. I would say any time of the year, it's really, really stunning. But it's for skiing. If you love skiing, but you don't want to stand in line, that's the place to go.
Oh,
skiing is incredible, but it's not as populated, so you don't have as many people going there. But yes, the distillery there, they're bottling bourbon and whiskey using all local ingredients, local rye, whiskeys, and vodka. They're also doing cordials using blackberries, raspberries, rhubarb. This is all stuff that's grown locally. But Oregon, the whole micro distillery thing is just booming in the whole state. In fact, Portland has more micro distilleries than any other city in the country.
Well, I'm not surprised because if you think about it, it was Portland who was on the cutting edge of the microbreweries, 8 to 10 years ago, and now distilling is a huge thing. As you know, Judy, and we got a ton of wineries up here, and one of the big things, microbrews are becoming huge in San Luis Obispo and even Paso Robles, but also a lot of the wineries because a distillery can't sell their product direct to a consumer. Like Jack Daniel's just can't sell to a consumer in a tasting room. But when you're a winery, you kind of got grandfathered in, so a lot of these people can go up there, buy, say, refined vodka from Paso Robles and get it right from the tasting room. So it's a very unique opportunity. We'll talk about some of the other kind of off the beaten path places in Oregon. We got about a minute left, and give someone, tease somebody with maybe like an off the beaten path destination there.
Well, I think that. I have to kind of get in the key signature things. You have to come to the Oregon coast. You have to eat some Oregon seafood. I don't know if people are aware, but like the Dungeness crab, the Oregon Dungeness crab, and tuna and shrimp, those are all sustainably caught in Oregon, so you could feel good about all the food. Yes. And then a little secret that people don't know about yet is Oregon truffles.
Really?
These are the black truffles that they grow in France. We can find them here in Oregon, and they're becoming, there's a truffle festival every year, but if you're into foraging and we have mushrooms and shiitakes and all that, but come out and get some dogs because we use dogs here to find them and get yourself some Oregon truffles.
Judy Ann Wu, she is from TravelOregon.com. Our thanks to you for hanging out with us, Judy Ann. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right, take care. Have a great Sunday. You can learn about Judy Ann Wu and TravelOregon.com. Hit up the website or go to EatDrinkExplore.com. Stick around. Next hour, we'll be talking to folks from the Can Van, Domaine Shandon, and more. Adam Montiel filling in for Randy White, Patty Pyburn, and I with Eat, Drink, Explore.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Fabulous.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Randy White. No, it's my name is Adam Montiel, filling in for Randy White here on Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for having me. I am on a associate station of his on the Crush 92.5, which you are listening to right now. I host a show called The Cork Dorks. You can check us out Mondays, which means tomorrow at 5 p.m. My thanks to Patty Pyburn for, over the last hour, putting up with me and promising to indulge me one more hour, right?
One more hour. That's all you get, Adam.
That's all you get.
No, we're so happy that you're filling in for Randall so that he
thank
could be
you.
up in the Bay Area taking part in the Breast Fest this
Breast
weekend.
Fest.
Yeah.
I'm super jealous.
Drinking for a good cause.
Yeah, very jealous. He's emceeing
Yeah.
the Breast Fest with our friend Kira Clapper. Very cool.
Yes, yeah.
All right, so last hour, I mean, I really, if you're just tuning in now, you missed a really, really fun hour learning about vertical farming with Amy Wers in the Tower Garden. That's pretty cool. We just got off the line with Judy Ann Wu. She's from TravelOregon.com. When are we going, Patty?
I know. Sign
Road
me up.
trip!
What amazing pictures on that website.
Cora,
Makes me
Anthony,
want to
let's all get in
go.
the car. We're going road trip to... I love it.
Cancel your plans for the day.
Yeah, and later this hour, we're going to talk to Jen Catalano. She's from the canvan.com. I guess the new trend in microbrews is to can your stuff. That's kind of like what the cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
So she's got a van that actually goes around to microbreweries in the Bay Area and cans them. It's pretty sweet.
It's very cool.
And I have a question for her. I want to know if it's greener. I think it seems
Yeah.
like every decision up there is made because it's greener.
Right. So there's got to be something behind this.
Yeah.
And
so
we'll know
very
more.
cool.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you. It's kind of fun. I don't drink beer all that much, but it is fun to kind of, you can go to McCarthy's here in Slow or whatever and get a can of beer. It's kind of old school and a little bit white trashy and I kind of like it. I definitely kind of dig it. So, in addition to Jen Catalano from the canvan.com, later on we're going to be talking to Tom DeBerzy. He is from Domaine Chandon. Domaine Chandon? Chandon. I just got correct. I was saying it wrong, and I was saying it kind of very very cork dorky. Like,
Yeah, there you
Domaine
go.
Shandon.
What the heck?
Like
Yeah.
we're here in Shandon.
Yeah.
In Shandon, that's what you call it, Domaine Shandon.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hear it straight from the expert's mouth coming up, so we'll know how to
Yes.
say it.
Yes, and you know, one thing I learned about sparkling wine, which is fascinating, is that when it's made in like that super French, elegant way, it's actually fermented in the bottle. The bottle that you're actually drinking out of, that was at one time fermenting. I mean, it's just really cool. And it's very, it's laborious. There's a lot to go into it, and there's a lot of painstaking work that goes into making a nice bottle of sparkling wine. So,
But the result is worth it.
yes, the result is very worth it. Unless you're trying to be like that guy and you shake it too much and you pop the thing off. Don't do it because it's a waste of some good sparkling wine.
Seriously.
Small little story.
Don't hurt the wine.
When I first moved here and I worked at Vinoteca, that wine bar in Paso Robles, and there was a group of women who came in. They ordered a bottle of Veuve Clicquot, super nice bottle of sparkling champagne. And I didn't even know I shook it too much. I opened the thing and it goes like a bullet across, hits the wall, makes a mark on the wall. You got like six women in their
going,
60s under the table. Yeah, it was like one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
Oh, gosh.
So we'll talk to the winemaker from Domaine Chandon and ask him actually how to open a bottle of something like this. So you don't want to waste any.
You don't want to waste it. You also don't want to hurt someone.
Right. Yeah. EatDrinkExplore.com is the website. Also, you can link to our Ustream page. What's really cool is Randy's got this dialed in with all the help from folks here where you can check out cameras of outside. Beautiful studios located downtown San Luis Obispo. And Anthony said it right. Looks like, the video I got there now, like we're in some little market village
Does
in
it
Italy.
look quaint?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
and we get to live here.
I know, isn't it sweet? It's amazing. So it's 9:04. A few minutes from now, we're going to be get some news from Patty Pyburn. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours, voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast. Eberly Winery, located on Highway 46 East in Paso Robles. Log on to eberlywinery.com. If you're listening to the Crush 92.5, keep in mind tomorrow's Cork Dorks episode. You like wine, Patty?
Love it.
Hey, Farmers Market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Can I have the little fabulous drop for my show? I love that.
Right. Isn't that fabulous?
I love that. And then what's the other guy say? The other guy goes marvelous. What does he say after? It's fabulous and then amazing. Or something like
amazing.
That. Yeah. I love it. Randy's got it on lock. I love it. My name is Adam Montiel, guest hosting for Randy White, who could not be here. He's emceeing Breast Fest in the Bay Area. Excited to be here with Patty Pyburn. Great show coming up in a few minutes. Jen Coyle Catalano with the Can Van, talking about how the new trend for microbrews is to can their stuff. Also later on, we'll talk to the winemaker for Domaine Chandon, Tom Tiberzi. Right now, we got some news from Patty Pyburn.
Indeed, we do. Wait for it.
And wait for it. Oh, is there a magic? Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
I told you our news sounder's a little sleepy on this Sunday, and aren't we all? Nice, relaxing Sunday morning. And from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday, these are the stories we are following. Arsenic in apple juice is getting the attention of the federal government after years of debate and complaints by consumer groups. The FDA now says the juice should be held to the same standard as drinking water and will take your comments for the next 2 months on this recommendation. The potentially cancer-causing compound is limited by the Environmental Protection Agency to 10 parts per billion for water. Organic forms of arsenic found in soil and groundwater are considered harmless, but versions used in pesticides have been associated with skin lesions, developmental effects, cardiovascular disease, neurotoxicity, and diabetes. This is according to Reuters. Now, diet sodas receiving some new criticism. This time it is from a recent review study out of Purdue University. Researchers there say the various artificial sweeteners used in diet soft drinks are linked to a number of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Now, the study focused on aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin, and found those who consumed these chemicals were more likely to gain weight and had twice the risk for developing metabolic syndrome, which is a precursor to cardiovascular disease. The American Beverage Association, though, says this study is not scientific and should be considered an opinion piece. Well, Congress is sounding off regarding our state's egg laws. The U.S. House of Representatives just passed a bill that would prevent California from regulating eggs brought in from other states. Now, at issue is a state requirement that imported eggs be produced under standards ensuring hens can stand and spread their wings, similar to laws that farmers within California must obey. This was under the voter-approved Proposition 2. Now, critics of Thursday's bill say that it could nullify many state laws around the country, many of those dealing with animal welfare. This bill was introduced by a representative from Iowa, and that is the #1 egg-producing state in the country. All right, sticking with our topic of eggs. The rangers in Death Valley are fed up, so to speak. They're asking the public to stop frying eggs on the park's roadways and walkways. It's been very hot in Death Valley, as it always is, but exceptionally hot. We had that really intense hot streak a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's been a growing number of visitors who, after seeing online demonstrations of just how hot it can get in the valley, they're cracking eggs and they're leaving this big giant mess behind. So the park posted on its Facebook page asking tourists to be more respectful apparently they're not doing this, but the park employee posted a video where you can fry an egg. It gets hot enough to do it in a pan or on a piece of tinfoil, so you don't leave that.
Oh, yeah, tinfoil is a great idea.
Yeah, don't leave the mess behind. Well, in spite of all of this, the park's maintenance crew says it's still busy cleaning up eggs cracked directly onto the sidewalk, egg cartons and shells left behind.
How do you think they clean it up? Like a big
That
water
has to
pressure?
that has to be a
hose?
mess, right?
Oh, I mean, if an egg falls on your kitchen floor, it's a pain in the ass. I mean, just to be a park ranger when you have so much more important things to do.
And you're cleaning up scrambled eggs on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, big mess there. If you're visiting Death Valley, don't try to do the egg thing.
You know what I would do? I would take the aluminum foil and I would make a little pan with the handle and everything.
Sure.
And then it would actually even, better photo op. And
here's the thing. If you cook the egg in tinfoil, then perhaps it could be your lunch.
There you go.
Because you're not eating it off the sidewalk.
No, you're not going to eat,
Not eating it off the sidewalk.
Poor
I hope.
egg. It's the most it gets shown to, show how hot it is on the ground.
Yeah, and left behind.
Left behind egg.
Discarded.
Very sad.
Hey, do you like blueberries?
I do. I love blueberries.
It is National July belongs to Blueberries Month, okay?
Why not just call it National Blueberry Month?
Right. I'm wondering if there's already that month and they had to do something different. I don't know. But what the heck? I like blueberries. Any excuse to eat them. It's Bastille Day. It is also National Macaroni Day. And who doesn't like macaroni?
Macaroni and cheese is becoming another one of these like trendy things to do like in a gourmet way.
Like with the grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, it's funny. There was that grilled cheese invitational that happens in LA every year.
Yeah.
My cousin, who just a mom and,
Does she make a mean grilled cheese?
She makes a great one. Not only did she win,
That's
there's the
awesome.
professional and the personal categories.
Yeah.
Well, both the winners of both those categories come together. She won Best of Show grilled cheese.
That's awesome.
Crazy.
What does she do? I want to know.
I'll tell you really quickly. It was a dessert grilled cheese with Cinnabon bread, cream cheese, strawberries, little drizzled chocolate.
Oh, I don't know. I can't understand how she won. I don't understand it.
And then macaroni and cheese. I know we're about in August 24th in Paso Robles. There's going to be the second annual Gourmet Mac and Cheese Festival, where you got chefs from all over the Central Coast who get together, make some mean grilled cheese, and the public votes on it. So, yeah. And then he's like, "We're going to that
right after Oregon. Sign me up."
Yeah, very good, very cool stuff. Did I interrupt you with your news?
Oh, you know what? Let me get to the weather really quickly.
Please.
No, I enjoyed the grilled cheese conversation greatly. Okay, so the weather is a tough forecast. Warm, sunny, beautiful California. 60s and 70s at the coast, 80s and 90s inland. Got our summertime pattern, waking up to that marine layer, burning off the afternoon sunshine. There you go.
Now, being in broadcasting, and I know you've done news, it's got to be the hardest gig has got to be a weather person in an area like this, because you got 6 minutes to fill just to say sunny and nice all the time.
Yeah, it's beautiful again today.
Yeah, so very cool. It's 9:12 right now. Thanks for listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Excited because in a couple minutes we're going to be talking to Jen Coyle Catalano with the Can Van. A lot of questions I have about just this whole new trend of canning microbrews. And I guess she'll go to kind of like their small lot wineries or boutique wineries.
Right.
There are folks who are doing the microbrew thing in that kind of same respect. And I guess she's got a few great reasons as to why canning those microbrews is the way to go.
So who else do we have coming up this morning? We got a couple other guests. Local guy, Chef Greg.
Oh, yes. I totally forgot about it. Right. Chef Greg
We can't
Weingard. Yes.
forget about Chef Greg.
Yeah, no. Oh, my God. You can tease Chef Jeff Greg Weingard a little bit, Adam. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We got Jeff Cheney, who's the wine director for Marisol at the Cliffs, as well as Greg Weingard, who is the executive chef of Marisol at the Cliffs. We're going to not only talk about different kind of summer ideas for things you can do in your backyard, see what they're doing, what fruits and vegetables are in season that he's whipping up. And he does this one thing with drinks where he smokes them.
I can't wait to hear about that. Chef Greg and I are good friends.
Love him.
We go way back.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. And he's always got something going on. And when I saw this mention of smoked drinks, I'm like, all right, what is he up to now?
Yeah, one time he made like a smoked Jack and Coke type thing. And I'm not sure if this is something anyone he can do or you have to be a Chef Greg genius to do it. But we're very excited to be talking.
So we'll be talking to him, yes.
Yeah, just a few minutes. Like I mentioned before, and I had the time messed up and we got cut off. But new Cork Dorks episode tomorrow on the Crush 92.5 from Jada Vineyard and Winery in Paso Robles. These guys got the Rhones, they got the Bordeaux. Interesting how they do them completely different, even on different equipment. What's that about? So that's on tomorrow's episode of the Cork Dorks right here on the Crush 92.5. This is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio on eatdrinkexplore.com. More after these words.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time. But my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone. We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Adam Montiel filling in for Randy White. This is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Thank you for having us tuned in and turned on. I got to give it to Randy. He picked some pretty sweet music for the bumpers, the ins and outs.
Yep.
It's kind of grooving.
Get you going. Get you going.
And then there's one shot that's got like it's got this one right here. If you look at the bottom of the screen, if you're engaging with us on video, that one's not. He has one that's called like Straight Nasty. This one's called Honeybee.
Yeah.
They even got cool names too. Yeah. Randy's got a super fun side. Loves that music. Great. Very excited to be here. My name is Adam Montiel from one of the associate stations of Eat, Drink, Explore called The Crush 92.5. You can learn about us there at crush925.com. We've had an incredible show. Right now, we have Jen Coyle Catalano. She is with the Can Van. Welcome to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Jen, how goes it?
It's going pretty well. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. It's really cool. When Randy mentioned that we were going to be talking to you, it's like, I'm just kind of getting into the microbrew thing myself, and I do another show called The Cork Dorks, which is predominantly Ben wine, but microbrews are so incredibly popular now. People who are on the tip of it, like Sacramento, Portland, and more places like San Luis Obispo, and are getting into it and stuff. What you've done is you've taken this new trend of canning the microbrews. Where did that come from?
Well, we actually began this project as a class project in a green MBA program, and we found that the craft brewing industry is growing so much and so exciting, and of course the beer is so delicious, that we just took it from there and decided to turn it into a real company. So we've been running for about 2 years now. Canning beer for some of our local breweries.
Now, were you kind of a pioneer in this biz? Did you see it become trendy, or did you kind of make it trendy?
Well, when we started, there wasn't anyone else offering this mobile canning service. We were inspired by the mobile wine bottling that serves all of the wineries up where we are in Napa and Sonoma, as well as down here where you are, more like Paso Robles.
Right.
And we felt like there was an opportunity to merge that with the trend of breweries that are small putting their beer in cans. So this way we would allow even smaller breweries to be able to can without having to buy their own equipment.
So Jen, you mentioned that this was the kind of birthed in a green MBA program. So something that Adam and I were kind of wondering about, is there sustainability behind this model? Is there something better about canning versus bottles?
Yeah, cans actually have a lot of benefits. They're significantly lighter than bottles. So you can save money in shipping. It costs less gas to transport them, and you could put more into the same shipping truck. They also are the most recycled beverage container in the U.S. Around in California, they have just about 100% recycling rate. And they also keep the beer fresher because they protect it from light and oxygen. And so there's lots of benefits.
This is kind of, it reminds me of this phenomenon, this kind of like you're being on the tip of this, is the whole screw caps for wine. For a long time, people associated screw caps on the top of a bottle of wine as cheap, as kind of ghetto.
Right.
But when we think about it, a cork being in wine, of course, there's a romanticism that goes along with it, a sexiness about it. But if you want to talk about eliminating the chance of your wine ever getting corked, throw a screw cap on it. You know what I mean? So this almost seems like it's actually smarter to do if you just get kind of past that hump. Are your prospective clients, are they over that hump where they're like, yeah, let's try this? Because I think with the screw cap, we're getting there if we're not there already. Are we there yet with the canning of microbrews?
Yeah, that's a great analogy because 10 years ago, there was only basically one brewery that was a craft brewery putting their beer in cans, Oscar Blues, which released Dale's Pale Ale out in Colorado. And today, there's over 300 craft breweries in the U.S. that have beer in cans. So there's a lot more options available at the store. And I think that for consumers, it's especially becoming more clear that you can get a really good beer in a can. That it doesn't just have to be, your macro brews, your light lagers that come in cans.
Some of these beers, like the IPAs, the ones that are heavy in hops, do they sustain the same way in a can as they do in a bottle?
Yeah, and actually, if you do a blind taste test, often you'll notice that some of the aromas are better preserved in the cans. When you have a cap on a bottle, similarly to what you're talking about with wine, there is some oxygen transfer, whereas a can is completely sealed, and so it really retains all that freshness.
We got Jen here from thecanvan.com. Log on to learn more about them. Well, now is there's like a white trash factor that I talked to earlier with Patty about, and that's
I was going to call you out on that when you were mentioning screw top wine.
Yeah, because and I dig that. I dig the white trash factor.
But it harkens back to like the Buffett song, "Pop to Top." You stepped on the pop top, and
is that kind of a fun thing to play off of? I mean, I don't even think of it as a scary way to brand it. It's actually kind of a cool way to brand it, I think. I don't know. Have you been embracing that or kind of getting around it?
It can be. I wouldn't say that's an area that we've actually worked in so much. For our clients,
I don't know why.
It's really about being able to bring that really good craft beer that's, a local product. It's something that somebody's put a lot of, craft into making something really delicious, but also making it convenient. You don't have to go, even if you're going to a barbecue or you're going on the river, you can bring your favorite IPA.
Mm-hmm. So, Jen, you're talking about like preserving quality then is more really what your focus is.
Yeah, and also on the convenience. It really opens up. Yeah, it opens up a lot of markets to these craft brewers being able to sell their product in a place where glass just doesn't make sense.
But if Adam wants to feel a little bit white trashy when he pops the top now and again, we're going to let him, right?
Yes.
Of course.
So, Jen, what's your stomping grounds? How far are you ranging with this mobile unit?
So we're based in the San Francisco Bay Area, but we're serving all of Northern California, and as well as we've branched down into the southern areas. We have gone as far as San Diego and LA. And we're actually talking to a couple breweries down in your area, in Paso Robles and San Luis Obispo. Two current clients that we have are in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Santa Cruz Mountain Brewing, which has an IPA that's only available at the Boardwalk.
Oh.
It's very cool. That's a place where cans are the only packaging that they can have there.
Right.
So as a local brewery, they were able to get their product to the Boardwalk, so you can have an IPA while you're enjoying your Eddie Money concert.
Are you going to need a second van at some point?
If we keep getting as busy as we have been, it's definitely a possibility.
Now, you mentioned
over 200 breweries in California right now.
Yeah, God, you mentioned some local breweries here, or you mentioned that some in this area were interested. I mean, I don't know about you, but the 805 is becoming huge here. And how cool would it be to see a black can 805?
Yeah.
I mean, that would just blow up here. Are you able to tell us which ones you're talking to?
No one I can mention just yet, but they're local.
Very cool. Well, I would love to put some calls out to some of the folks that I know that do it. And, let me ask you a question, because some things we run into with small lot wineries that can't necessarily afford the tasting rooms or different aspects when you're small lot and boutique. Someone who is a small lot brewer, are you cost effective? How do you work in with a person's budget who may be a little bit less than, say, a big guy?
Well, the main thing that we offer is the ability to do really small batches. Usually, if you want to start canning your product, you have to buy 100,000 cans from the can manufacturer, whereas we can offer them the ability to do as little as 2,000 cans.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I definitely.
So you don't have to put up that big.
Right. That's definitely a savings.
I hope to see your can van sometime down here in San Luis Obispo County. That would be pretty sweet.
We'll be looking for you.
Yeah. We got Jen Coyle from thecanvan.com, and I'm guessing, of course, as someone who is doing microbrews or knows someone who is listening, the website's got all the answers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Thecanvan.com. Jen Coyle Catalano. Well, appreciate you taking time with us, being on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so check out the canvan.com website. Gosh, I mean, and she made a great point when she drew that lineage, Patty, there are big trucks that will come out there for wineries that don't have a bottling line.
Right.
A bottling line is a very expensive and sizable investment.
So they have those mobile bottling operations, absolutely.
So she's doing it right down the line, and I think that screw cap thing we dialed into was right on the money. So very cool. Thanks to Jen Coyle, and learn more about these folks at thecanvan.com. Summer recipes from the wine director at Marisol at the Cliffs in Shell Beach, as well as the executive chef Greg Weingard. We'll do that next here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. Adam Montiel filling in for Randy White. Thank you, Patty, for having me, and thanks to Cora and Anthony as well.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time: the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time. But my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
I want to be fabulous. Right?
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good.
My name is Adam Montiel. I'm filling in for Randy White. Happy to be here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. The studio's beautifully positioned above downtown. I mean, this couldn't be. I mean, what you're seeing on the video feed is literally right outside the window downtown SLO. It looks beautiful. Just beautiful. Thanks for having me, Patty.
Oh, thanks for being here. I was just going to say, it is beautiful here in downtown SLO. What a great Sunday we're waking up to. And, you know, really, pretty much all of California is going to look like this today.
And then if you think about, you know, the whole parking situation downtown, you guys get to park for free because it's still before 1.
Yeah.
I was like, woo!
Yeah, yep. We lucked out on that.
All right. If you're listening to us on one of the Eat, Drink, Explore affiliates, the Crush 92.5, I also do a show called The Cork Dorks. And I just want to thank again Randy for having me. Also to Anthony and Cora, who have been doing a phenomenal job. This is really a tight ship. This is really, really done well.
Indeed.
So I thank to everybody who had me here. On the phone, Patty, I know you're super excited because you know these folks. I love these guys from Marisol at the Cliffs in beautiful Shell Beach. Pismo Beach, Shell Beach, if you're listening outside the area. We call it Shell Beach. It's technically Pismo. And the Cliffs has probably one of the most beautiful views views of the coastline in this area, and we got one of the premier chefs of this area and the new wine director for Marisol, Jeff Chaney and Chef Greg. What's up, my man? How are we doing?
Hey.
Very good. I'm very excited to have you. I know Patty. You know Chef Greg, right, Patty?
Yes, Chef Greg and I go way back. We've done some TV together, right, Chef?
Hi, Patty. Yeah, good morning.
In fact,
I did a segment called Farm Fresh for KCOY, and it was a really good segment. We got to feature a lot of farmers and cook some of their food for the viewers watching.
Very
and
cool.
just a couple weeks ago, we were out in the garden at the gardens there in Avila. Have you been there,
Sure.
Adam? That's such a cool thing. I know this might be a little off topic because we have you on to talk about summer drinks, but Chef Greg, can you tell us really quickly, give us a little summary of the gardens that you have going on there in Avila?
Yeah, the Gardens Avila is the restaurant, and we actually did about an acre garden. Barbara Windrose is our consulting farmer. She really looked at the soil, added a lot to the soil so we could get good yield out of everything there. Probably have around about 150 tomato plants, onions, various herbs, watermelon, melons, beans, peas, squash, arugula, spinach.
Look at you.
Pretty much everything that we can grow. And Chef Robert Truster is doing a great job of utilizing it to try to become, his goal is to be about 80% sustainable.
It's really
he's getting
cool.
A lot of stuff out the garden. It's one step up. I think that everybody sort of uses the term farm to table. But to have a property and actually have an acre garden on property and pick right from that, from your, for your dinner, either menu or menu additions, it's pretty phenomenal.
It doesn't get fresher than that.
It doesn't. It sounds like someone needs a tower garden. It's a little reference to what we were talking about earlier. We did a Cork Dorks season finale several months ago with Chef Greg. He's one of the best on the Central Coast, and he had these smoked drinks. And I know this whetted Patty's appetite because sounds so good. Talk about these smoked drinks you make. Before we get into the wine with Jeff, what were you doing, and is this something that the average person can explore with?
I think you can explore with it. There's different methods of doing it. What I did is I took, Pepsi or Coca-Cola syrup, and actually sort of made a makeshift smoker on the back line in the kitchen. And then I just smoked the syrup over oak wood. And then it slowly reduced. But when it did that, the top layer got this really nice, pellicle, for lack of a better word, of like a top layer of smoke on it. And then the good people down at Central Coast Brewing did around, I think it was 17 or 18 bottles of Jack Daniels into a keg, and then took that syrup, put that back into the keg, and then just added, more soda and soda water to get the flavoring right. And what you're left with is like this smoky, delicious kegged Jack and Coke. And
wow!
I just want to have it on an IV and just walk around with it. It sounds incredible.
It was awesome, dude. And they do a really good job, Central Coast Brewing, of pretty much kegging. Well, their specialty obviously is beer, but we did this with a drink, and then we played around, with air to get it so it was pouring the right way, and you have a cocktail on draft.
Nice.
Hook it up to a jockey box, and it's an instant party anywhere.
Love it. Chef
Wow.
Greg Weingart is from Marisol at the Cliffs. Also on the phone, wine director for Marisol, Jeff Chaney. Now, Jeff, this is a great time for summer wines, but, forgetting the Chardonnay for a second, because, anyone knows about Chardonnay, forgetting about some of those ones that people are always thinking about. Rosé has really changed in the last 5-10 years. I know you just wrote an article about this. Talk about the new European exquisite dry rosé that's becoming trendy.
Dry rosé. That's what this time of the year really means to me, Adam. It's the beautiful sunny days, whether you're on the beach, the pool, on the patio. Having something that's crisp and dry in your glass is really what you need. So you see more and more people going to this more restrained style of rosé rather than the Saignée of bleeding off their kind of juice from their red wine production. So these producers are picking a little earlier, getting higher acidity levels, and they're making it more of a Provence style, more in that style you see in southern France, specifically Bandol, which is kind of the motherland for that style of wine.
Now, does dry just mean not sweet? I mean, what does dry mean for someone listening right now?
Dry can mean a number of different things in different parts of the world, but what it necessarily means, yes, is that the sugars have been converted to alcohol and that the residual sugars are no longer there, so to speak. So that would mean the opposite is sweet.
So it's kind of like back in the day, Patty, it may have been white zin, sweet. Now it's dry. Now it's rosé.
Dry zin.
It's very different, very different. And rosé, I mean, you can make it with all these different types of grapes, right?
Yeah, you can. I would say that the most popular in Provence, just by default, they're making Grenache and Mourvedre and Cinsault. And here in California, you can make it with any red wine, really. But what really shines seems to be the same varietals, the Grenache specifically, and other Rhone varietals like Syrah too.
Yeah, Syrah also makes a great rosé. I've seen Justin doing a Cab rosé. They're known for their Bordeaux, and we've seen it with even Pinot. Talk about, there's another element. We did a show up in the Russian River Valley, and I was very interested because there's some similarities and differences from, say, Sonoma County, Napa County, and to the Central Coast. Obviously, both places can do Cabs. Both places like Edna Valley and Russian River can do, Chardonnay, Pinots. But one thing that I didn't find up there, and I found does really well here, and it's a very refreshing drink, especially for the summer, and that's the Grenache Blanc. Break that one down for a minute.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. Well, Grenache Blanc, we're very lucky. Credit goes to Topless Creek.
Right.
Paso Robles, one of our very own great producers, brought that varietal over, I think, in around the early 90s.
And they did it legally, too. They didn't, shove it down their foot in the...
for a couple years. Yeah, so it sits in jail to make sure that it's nice and clean, and then it gets released. And now it's becoming more and more popular. I think the plantings, as far as acreage goes, are growing every year on that grape. And it's a fantastic wine for summer. It's really crisp. It has a lot of beautiful acidity to it usually. You get apples and oranges. There's mineral. There's a lot of peach. It's a great summer wine. The crispness of it is just kind of really what kind of sets it apart from the other Rhone varietals, say Viognier or Roustan. They're a little more, a little richer, a little more honeyed. This wine's a little zingy. It's a little racier.
Yes.
Which makes it nice for better weather, I guess.
I like that, a little racier. We have Jeff Cheney, who is the wine director for Marisol at the Cliffs, also on the phone, the executive chef, friend of both Patty and mine. We got Chef Greg Weingart on here. What's in season right now? What are you putting on the plate? What are you doing there at Marisol right now, Greg?
Yeah, the melons are starting to come into season. One of my favorite seasons is definitely melon season. I love that. We're doing stone fruit salad is, almost at its peak right now as far as the sugars and all the fruit. We do a really good stone fruit salad with just, cut fresh, white nectarines, white peaches, pluots, apricots, plums, a little bit of whipped purple haze goat cheese, some crostini, and then flowering herbs that we have in the garden, like, cinnamon basil, lime basil, Thai basil. Makes for a really cool presentation, and it's nice to have that goat cheese, the purple haze, has a little bit of lavender and fennel pollen in with the fresh cheese. So,
and where does that cheese come from, Greg?
That's from Cypress Grove.
Oh.
Around, they do a lot of different goat cheeses.
Now, what are you talking as far as summer ideas? Folks listening, maybe, what a great day for something like this. Someone could run to the store, grab a few things, even invite some folks over. What's kind of a great summer idea you have in your back pocket for us?
Well, it's a couple of them. There's a couple different venues you could take. One, I think, right away is, a backyard crab boil. Go and grab, if they're having 6 or 7, maybe 8 people over, get, 4 crabs, boil them for around 20 minutes, a little bit of... water and lemon, a little bit of salt is really all you need. Everything else is sort of, added. You could do pickling spice or, whatever you're going to do, or, boiling seasonings. But 20 minutes, take them out, pop the shell off, clean the gills out, line your back patio table with newspaper, get a couple bottles of wine, some cocktails maybe, some crackers, a bunch of melted butter, some great corn on the cob. Throw it all on the table, dig in. Cleanup is easy. You just swoop up all the newspapers. And but it's like...
Okay, so you're doing this at your crib today, right, Craig? We're coming over.
That's right, yeah. All you really need then is some time and a do not disturb sign.
Yeah, right? Very
That
good.
sounds amazing.
Executive chef from Marisol at the Cliffs, Greg Weingard. Also the wine director for Marisol at the Cliffs, Jeff Cheney. TheCliffsResort.com is the website. A lot of interaction that Jeff is doing now with the food and wine pairings. Talk to them both. They're very easily accessible. And gentlemen, cheers to both of you.
Thanks, Adam.
Very good.
Adam. Thanks, Eddie.
Very fun. More coming up. We'll talk to the winemaker for Domaine Chandon. It is Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Imagine a world where bullying isn't considered a normal part of childhood.
A world where I'm not afraid to go to school.
To speak out.
To be myself.
A world where I'm not afraid to be caught alone.
Come on, punk.
We have the power to stop the bullying. Speak out.
Speak up.
Educate.
Find out what to look for and how you can make a difference at bullying.org.
Bullying is not kids being kids.
It's not about good homes or bad homes.
It's not a normal part of growing up. I shouldn't be afraid to get on the school bus.
To turn on my computer.
Message. Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone. We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for being here. My name is Adam Montiel on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, in for Randy White. Very excited to be filling in and guest hosting with us, as always, Patty Pyburn. Thanks for having me, Patty.
Sure. Good morning, Adam.
Very
We're so
excited.
happy that you could be here with us this morning.
That is so nice of you. That is so nice of you, because I really feel that was very honest. Anthony has been incredible. Thank you for all your help. And, of course, Cora has been coordinating things.
Yeah, she's
as far
on
as the
those
phone.
phones.
Because, see, the morning show I do and the wine show,
Mhm.
I'm running the board.
It's
and
just you.
Well, I mean, I have a co-host and stuff, but as far as the board, you're producing the show. Having Anthony here is like,
isn't that nice?
This is ridiculous. This is so awesome. Yeah, Randy's got it dialed in. And then Cora, amazing outside. On the phone, very excited, Tom Taberzi. He is the winemaker for Domaine Chandon, the head winemaker, celebrating 40 years where they are. And it's great to have you on, and congrats on such a significant anniversary.
Good morning. It's nice to be on.
Very good. So I want to talk a little bit about, why don't you give a little bit of a history to Domaine Chandon? I know also on this Bastille Day, there's some significance. For someone listening who maybe isn't familiar, what is the significance of Bastille Day?
Well, Bastille Day is the day in France when there was like an overthrow of the king. So it's a day of celebration for the working people and established beginning of more of a democratic period.
Is the winery doing anything big up there?
Yeah, we have this Bastille Day celebration. We have like gift baskets, and we have music starting at noon with a French band, and it's very festive. And the staff is all dressed up nice, so it's French outfits and stuff. So it'll be a very festive day out on the terrace.
It sounds like it.
Oh yeah, Domaine Chandon has been around for 40 years. Can you get into some of the history and how did you begin and take us down that road a bit?
Well, John Wright was our founding CEO, and he enticed the French company Moet et Chandon, the Champagne House, to come here in the early 70s by arranging for them to taste samples and arranging visits. And this was the second venture that Moet et Chandon did in the New World, starting the Champagne House of Domaine Chandon in Mendoza, Argentina in 1959. So 1973, they were looking to continue their venture into the New World, and they founded us here in California and one in Brazil. And so they were the first French champagne house to establish themselves in the Napa Valley.
Now,
at that time, there was only like 30 or 40 wineries here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. People use the word champagne loosely all the time. Does it mean that the grapes were grown in Champagne, or that the whole process, like the crush and everything, took place in Champagne, France? To be specifically titled correctly Champagne, it needs what?
Well, to say just strictly Champagne, it has to be grown and vinified in the Champagne region of France under vineyards that are designated Champagne vineyards specifically. In the United States, we can call our wine Champagne as long as we qualify it, like we could say California Champagne or Napa Champagne or American Champagne. However, at Domaine Chandon, since we are French-owned and we follow the international rules, even though we legally can call it Champagne, we refer to our product as sparkling wine.
Very good. You see that a lot in California, right? That's kind of the go-to title for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, however, we do follow the method champenoise, the traditional French method, and so we do the second fermentation in the bottle to produce the bubbles.
That's perfect. You brought that up right there, is because you'll see that on the bottle a lot. Method champenoise. Now, this is the course of action that all the high end and the very exquisite sparkling wines take. And this is the fermenting of the wine in the actual bottle. There's disgorging that happens. There's also where you're going to have to switch the bottle over and move it. Talk about some of the way winemaking is different when it's sparkling.
Well, when you follow the method traditional, it's pretty much the same. You have the opportunity to use varieties that aren't traditional in Champagne. However, we do use the Champagne traditional varieties of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. In the United States, we have much looser rules than they do in France. However, we stay pretty close to the French prototype.
I see. Okay. We got a Domaine Chandon head winemaker, Tom Taberzi.
I have to say that, of course, champagne, sparkling wine, whatever, just plain is amazing. But I was on your website earlier this morning, and I was clicking through the drink recipes that you have on here.
Yeah, we really go out of our way to find some really creative cocktails.
Cocktails, baby, yes.
Goodness. I'm like listing like, oh, I want to make that. No, wait, I want to make that. No. There was like an icy one that you make with the sparkling wine, like this like shaved ice. It's like a sorbet for adults. Yeah, slushy for adults. Yes.
Now you can take a lot of these sweet wines like Moscatos and stuff, and talk about. I mean, there's a lot you could take. You have your wine glass, pour in 80-60% champagne, and then talk about some of the different white wines that you could pour into that to kind of make a little hot tub cocktail action.
Well, really, since talking about specific wines, look at the flavors, combining flavors that are complementary. So if you have like red fruit flavors, like raspberry, cherry, plum, you can use other red fruits or bring in some white fruit flavors, but then also look at contrasting flavors, things that have more acidity, things that have some spice. So look at matching, contrasting, and complementary flavors. Just have to be careful when you contrast that it's a facet and not like overwhelming.
All right, 30 seconds with you. I'd like you to tell me, this is the most important thing you'll impart on me today at least. How the hell do you open one of these bottles without getting everything everywhere?
Well, chill the bottle real nice, like about 20 minutes in a mixture of ice and water, or like at least an hour in the fridge. Tilt the bottle at about 45-degree angle. First of all, you have to take off the hood. As soon as you loosen that wire hood, make sure you own the cork. Don't let go of that cork.
Own it, baby.
Loosen the hood, because it might take off on its own. If it's tight, twist the bottom of the bottle, holding the cork tight. That way you have some mechanical advantage. Loosen that cork up, and as it starts to come out, keep it from coming out quickly. Tilt the bottle at 45 degrees, and just gently let the cork release so you hear like a sigh.
That's all.
CO2 come out.
That's all what she said. Tom DeBerzy, the winemaker for Domaine Chandon. Thank you so much. Yes or no, have you ever sabled a bottle? Sabered a bottle.
Done that many times.
Yes, badass. You are the man. Thank you so much for taking time on Eat, Drink, Explore, Tom. We appreciate you. The website, Chandon, CHANDON.com.
Have a nice day.
Cheers, man. Happy Bastille Day. Do you say
Bye-bye.
Happy Bastille Day? Is that okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good. Happy Bastille Day to you. Tom DeBerzy, and I got to make a trip up there, man. He sounds like a lot of fun. And so interesting, the differences in making wine and making sparkling wine. You can hear all of the segments from this week's and previous weeks online at eatdrinkexplore.com. Plus, we provide links to all the guest websites as well. Don't forget to download the smartphone, tablet device apps via the Apple Store and Google Play. Thanks to Patty Pyburn. I love you, Patty. You're amazing.
Thanks for being here.
Cora Edema, Anthony Renato. Did I say it, Anthony? You're the best, man. I appreciate you. Of course, Ricardo and Randy, travel safe on your way home. Adam Montiel, and thanks to listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Radio.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.